Welcome back to the channel, guys. So it looks like Nintendo is trying to fix Switch Online, or at least it appears so from this job listing that they just put up for a manager for Switch Online. So there's been a lot of issues in this job here, and we're going to go over the details, the requirements, what it actually entails in a moment. But it seems like this position is to try to mold Switch Online into something good. So many people have been complaining about this service, and it's still in its infancy. It only started in September, but the value we're getting, I mean, geez, the service is essentially the same as when it was free. There's not much value added in a lot of people's eyes. Nintendo announces a couple NES games added to the catalog of games we get to play, and they get a ton of thumbs downs on that video. It's just not what people are looking for, or at least it seems anyway. Some people are stoked about the NES games, many others not so much. Me, I'm just kind of like, I don't care with the little games you can play. I don't even play them, but they're there, right? People are looking for newer stuff. You know, it looks like we may be getting Super Nintendo in the near future, but I don't know if that's enough. The other things, I mean, people are complaining about is the value. What is the value behind this with it still being essentially the same as when it was free? People want, dedicated servers for certain games instead of peer-to-peer for everything, which does work fine for certain titles. The chat, using an app on your phone and having to use that to chat in first-party games is just redonkulous. People are just annoyed with it. I've never even bothered. Like, it's just pointless. Like, come on now. It's 2019. We shouldn't be using an app on our phone to chat on a video game system, right? There's so much other stuff, you know, the value just hasn't been there for people. It's $20 a year, or if, like me, I pay $35, I believe it is, for multiple accounts. Sure, it's cheaper than the competition, but what the heck are we getting out of this, right? So hopefully this position here is going to mold that into something great, or at least it seems like that's the direction they're trying to go. So here we go, Manager Nintendo Switch Online. This is a Nintendo of America listing. This is a job in Redmond, Washington, so not a Japanese position. This is in the USA, right? So Nintendo of America, the worldwide pioneer in creation of interactive entertainment, blah, blah, blah. They go on to brag about, you know, how many games and systems they've sold, which is a ton. Has also created industry icons that become well-known household names such as Mario, Donkey Kong, Metroid, Zelda, and Pokemon. A wholly owned subsidiary, Nintendo of America, based in Redmond, Washington, serves as headquarters. That's where the headquarters is for Nintendo's operations in the Americas. You can visit their website for more information if you so choose, but who cares about all that? They're looking for an experienced manager who can lead and drive Nintendo's online subscription service. This is an opportunity for the successful candidate to help grow an emerging part of Nintendo's core business and lead a cross-functional team of stakeholders across the organization to align on priorities and execute with excellence. God, that was a mouthful. This role will be responsible for managing Nintendo Switch Online, NSO, operations, and drive the program priorities, execution, and business objectives. Let's take a look at these description of duties first, right? So one of the duties you'll have is establish the key objectives and goals of Nintendo Switch Online service that will support the overall priorities of the business. So essentially you're shaping Nintendo Switch Online. So I'm curious with how this is listed. Is Nintendo Switch Online going to start diverging from what other regions do? Is every region going to be very specific and shape it the way they want? Maybe, because it would make sense in a way. Maybe consumers in Japan versus consumers in North America or in Europe would appreciate different things or things done a different way. So I could see that being something they do where they have a different operation for each region, mold Switch Online into something different. Who knows, right? Next thing, establish KPIs, which is key performance indicators, mind you, metrics and analytics to evaluate the performance and progress of the program on an ongoing basis. So key performance indicators essentially is something that's measurable, something they can put out there that measures the success of the program, be it subscribers, downloads. There could be so many different metrics that they use to, say, hey, these, this is how well we're performing. Maybe this period versus this period, or this is what our goal is. There's a lot of things they could put together with that. So whoever's in charge of this, they're going to have to come up with what those indicators are. Could be pretty interesting. With Nintendo Switch Online, with the service, I could see, maybe subscribers versus non-subscribers, or, subscribers versus units sold, retention rate, those kind of things. So, or people, returning to the service after so much time. There's a lot of different, indicators they could use, or metrics anyway, to, evaluate the success of the program. Possibly another thing could be like specific games that have to have Nintendo Switch Online to be able to play online. Look at what the performance are on those games, that kind of thing. Maybe sales indicators. There's a lot of little things. They could be like extremely in-depth with that. They're also responsible for the definition, planning, communication, and execution of initiatives related to the program that will drive the program to reach and exceed objectives and goals. So there you go. They have to define, plan, and communicate and execute all the initiatives of the program. They have to mold it together and execute. Define it and just execute it to excellence, right? Responsible for articulating scope and deliverables, initiatives to key stakeholders across the platform, or across the organization: marketing, legal, finance, consumer service, strategic communications, as well as others. So essentially just, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, this is what's measurable. Here you go to, the most important people within the organization, is the way I'm reading that. Let's see, what else do we got here? Communicate program performance, opportunity, strategy. Same thing, essentially. Collaborates with and garners support from key stakeholders to ensure program initiatives are executed timely and with excellence. So essentially they have to collaborate with those who are above them, who are running other aspects of the business, and make sure what they're doing is what those key people want you to be doing. So, I don't necessarily think this position is going to be one where that person has complete control over the direction of Nintendo Switch Online. But I still feel my thoughts earlier with molding this differently for each region may still hold true. Let's see, identify and lead the resolution of issues or barriers to the program, product, goals. That kind of explains itself. Finding what problems they have, what issues there are for, them making money. It's all about making money. Let's not kid ourselves. But that's essentially what that would be. Whatever their indicators are, their key performance indicators, what are the barriers? What are the things stopping them from exceeding that? And finding those specific issues and ironing them out. Let's see, what else? Closely partner with marketing leads to develop product positioning, messaging, and content for the consumer. Supports and drives NSO marketing initiative and programs. So essentially they're just saying, like, dude, you're going to be working with marketing to get this out there. So whatever you're doing, man, you got to make it happen, and collaborate with these different roles to be able to, put this message out there, to be able to put out what we're doing in a way that makes sense and, is successful, right? So just essentially they're just saying you got to work with different aspects of the business and collaborate with them to do what you're doing. Closely partner with the product development team to drive the product roadmap and ensure delivery of the best service possible. Like we said, man, there's a lot of people who are kind of annoyed. The chat thing, hoping for dedicated servers with certain things, maybe different game systems. Bring them on out there, Nintendo 64, GameCube, who knows? Do something a little different. But we'll have to wait and see, right? Work with our parent company in Japan to drive global initiatives and provide a two-way dialogue regarding service performance and feature enhancements. Essentially, the way I'm looking at that is, like, you're not doing anything unless Nintendo of Japan says it's okay. Global initiatives. So maybe, I still think they could mold this differently for each region. Not just the games that they give us to download, but maybe other key specific things that could change the way it works, or just different specific things with that in each region. I can't come up with anything specific, but I could see different regions going in different directions with certain aspects of it. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I don't think the friend codes are going to go anywhere, but who knows? Requirements to get this job. Always got to have requirements, right? Japanese language, fluency, highly desirable. So they're really hoping you can speak Japanese so they don't have to pay for a translator when you need to work with Nintendo of Japan, right? 6+ years of related program project management, specifically related to managing a consumer product or service. Subscription service experience, highly desirable, makes sense. 1 to 2 years of supervisory experience. Enthusiasm for technology and gaming, a plus. Don't go into this job not liking Nintendo games, right? You got to be into this. You can't be somebody who just despises technology and games and expect to get this job, I guess. Proficiency in project management tools, JIRA, confluence, and familiarity with reporting tools, e.g. Ergo, Tableau. Proficiency with MS Office Suite, Word, Excel, Project, Outlook, PowerPoint, so on and so forth. Bachelor's degree in business, marketing, or related field. Pretty interesting stuff. Hopefully this is something that they can get together and figure out something, right? Like, I'm looking at these requirements, man. I'm almost ready to apply here. There's maybe only, let me see which one. This doesn't affect me. I mean, not that it doesn't affect me. I don't qualify with that piece of it, but it's desirable. It's not required, right? I'm not fluent in Japanese. Sorry, Nintendo. 6+ years of related program project management. I'm kind of mixed on that. I have experience, but not exactly what they're asking for here. The rest of this stuff I do have experience in, all of it, and I exceed all this stuff. Even, the education I'm exceeded in, proficiency and all this nonsense. Enthusiasm? I'm enthusiastic. Nintendo, give me this damn job. I want to fix Nintendo Switch Online. Come on, boy. Let's do it. So there you go. A lot of people are talking about this job opening. It's been out there for a little bit, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, I'm not just speaking out my ass, thinking that Nintendo's going to fix something, but they do need some kind of management to get the ball rolling with this thing, to have people perceive that value with the service. We're paying money for something, and getting a handful of old NES games, not a lot of people are really caring about that right now, I don't think. Some people do, some people don't. But with the Nintendo Switch being so successful out there, not everybody with a Nintendo Switch cares about those games. I have kids. They don't play those games. They have it on their Nintendo Switch. They don't even mess with it. Have they played those games before? Yes, they have, because we have an NES. We have an NES Classic. We have tons of different ways to play those games, so they're very experienced in a good handful of those, myself included. I grew up with them, but I have no desire to really play them on the Nintendo Switch too much. I mean, I've messed with it a little bit, but it's not that big a deal. Super Nintendo, when they released that, I don't even know that I'm going to be that excited. They put out some other systems that we haven't had easy access to for a while, then sure, that'll be cool. But the other things, man, they gotta work on that chat, just the integrations with everything. I think they have a service that they can mold into something good. Right now, it's just kind of ho-hum. People are disappointed paying for something, and it just really seems lackluster. So just wanted to bring this up, give you guys my thoughts on it. Appreciate it. Smash that like button. Make sweet-ass love to that notification bell. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. With that said, guys, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom. Bye.